Jack, it's the end of January. How did the month start after coming back from the Christmas break?
Well, it started pretty early on the 4th of Jan. We got into it after the Christmas break. The boys went into the Christmas break and they were pretty fatigued after the camp, which is what we wanted. By the time they came back, they were raring to go, and we had a really good 3-week block in January. Really pleased with the output of the players. The attitude on the track was really, really good. The workload's been pretty similar to our last 2 years in January, which is great. We keep a really close eye on the workload in comparison to past years. It's funny that the players decide how much workload they do, really, because if their bodies adapt really well, we do more. If their bodies aren't adapting so well, we'll do a little bit less.
Tell us about the different components of the program. We see the players boxing, sitting on bikes, gym sessions, running, and I imagine there's time in the pool too.
There's a huge amount of variation in our program. There's so much individualisation. Sometimes you wouldn't recognise, they're actually in the same club because they're doing such different training. Ideally we want, guys to be doing boxing or doing sort of commando type training outside of their running. If they can do that, great. If they can't, then we put them on a bike. If they're managing a chronic knee injury or a chronic ankle or something like that, some of the guys are managing long-term injuries we have to be careful with and keep them off their legs on certain days. Others can just keep going every day, just keep churning the workout.
In terms of the list and who's completing the full program, is you got the majority of the players doing the main program?
We've got a great stat over the years that we look at. It's actually the number of players who do under 60% of the pre-season is critical for us, because you have to bat deep during the year because you're going to get injuries, you're going to have hiccups, things are going to happen, and you've got to bat down to 33, 34, 35 players that play. So it's actually not the number that do above 80 or 90%. It's actually how few do less than 60%. We're tracking pretty similar to the last few years. We've got 80% of the guys out there doing the majority of work, and we've only got 2 or 3 guys at the moment that are under that 60% mark. So we're pretty happy. Who's
been the standout so far?
Well, that's a difficult question. Standout so far. I think Stratton probably been a standout. Isaac Smith, just standards are really, really high. He's just got a huge work ethic. And he's just mentally very, very strong.
The new guys into the club, I imagine it's a shock in month 1 in December. What's it been like for them in January?
Well, it's probably more of a shock in January for them because we're pretty conservative when we get them, just to find out what are their training histories, what have they done, what can their bodies handle. We get a feel for that in December, and then we sort of start training them in January. Lovell and Hardwick have done 85% of the work since Christmas. They're workers, they just love it, get the job done, very low key. So we've been really pleased with those 2 guys and what they've been able to do. Simpson's been the same. He's done 85%. Fitzpatrick has come from Melbourne. He's done 95% of the work in January, and he's showing some good stuff as well.
In terms of the older brigade, there's some older bodies around Hawthorn now. Do they get a modified program at all?
Older bodies, it's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, not really. They're not modified. I give absolutely no credit to their age whatsoever. It's purely and simply, do they handle the work or do they not handle the work? Do they have any injury issues they've had to deal with over the years where they're starting to slow down? And if they don't, they pretty much do the majority of the program. Yeah.
How's the preparation going, and who do we expect to see fronting up for that first game?
Oh, look, I think our first game you'll see a lot of guys, a lot of the guys that played in the premiership team playing. I think you'll see a really good smattering of young guys as well. We can play 26 guys in that first game, so that allows us to have some real flexibility with who we play. But we'll play the guys that we feel are ready, conditioned well enough to play, and they start their preparation, and then we'll just manage the whole group over those 3 games. We're very spread out with our NAB Cup games, so we have to be smart about how we play and who we play and how much we play them so that they're ready for round 1 on the Monday.